Michelle Kash is in the building. I'm like, hey girl, give me $20, Miss Cash. All of the things, but also finding gravity in sound is exactly how I wanted to just title this conversation. Um, I want to go back to the origins and the identity of Michelle Cash, right? You described growing up surrounded by art and creativity, which I absolutely love and is so much in alignment of who I am. Take us back to a specific moment in your childhood where you kind of first felt the power of music, but not just heard
Mm, that is a good question.
it.
I started taking piano lessons at a really young age, but I actually didn't connect with it at all, which is crazy because I
Really?
think it was, yeah, I think that it was so rigid, it was really structured. And I think that that didn't really, I didn't connect with that. I think I
Yeah.
wanted to
Mhm.
play the blues and like
Right.
be freer. And there was so much like strictness and like metronome and like all of that. And I think, and I wanted to play guitar and I wanted to like be like,
You're like, I want to be free.
yeah, I wanted to be free, like a wild
Yeah.
child in a way. And I think
Right.
it, um, when I first started connecting with, I think two main inspirations for me were Bob Dylan and Aretha Franklin. And I think hearing them being in their power, in their
Hmm.
freedom with whatever they were expressing,
Yeah.
um, spiritually, vocally about humanity, like that touched me so deeply. And that kind of opened this floodgate within me, especially Aretha and especially her gospel
Totally.
album.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm like
Obsessed with
obsessed.
Aretha. I mean, but honestly, you said two major icons, but I really think about even you before even stepping into music. What I love and appreciate about you is that you explored the things that I always love. You talked about the piano and the guitar, but also acting and poetry. And I'm obsessed with poetry. And I think that poetry and poets have so much history and blueprints throughout our world. How did those disciplines kind of shape the emotional language you use within your songs today?
I think especially poetry is the main one. I think that that was the only way I really connected with myself. I think I felt, growing up really actually a bit isolated in myself, very internal, like very different from people around me, very um I think poetry was the tool I had, my words and my feelings, and trying to get that out on paper. And I
Yeah.
would like journal and put pictures in there and draw and just kind of it was really the only expression I had. And I
Yeah.
think that completely informs how I write music today. I think I almost do it in the same way. It's
You're
sitting with
right.
yourself, being so internal. I know music is like this seemingly outward
Hmm.
thing, but
Hmm.
actually for me, and I think it is this internal connection.
Absolutely.
It's so internal, and I think poetry was the way to connect with that. And when you said acting, it's like it's true. I remember like a few years ago in New York, I was playing just at my apartment with someone was playing piano and we were just playing around together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt it so deeply, and I was so in this, I don't want to say character, but it was like
Right.
me. And then it was over, and it was like you're still with the feelings though, and the
Mhm.
song's over, but
You're
you're
like, I'm
in the
still in the
emotion.
moment. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And how to release that and how to kind of then be kind of bring yourself back to yourself. And I think that's
Mhm.
an
Mhm.
acting thing too.
I want to talk about a pivotal moment of yours, that retreat to Utah. And what that moment really meant and means really kind of for your story, right? What did, and I love this, what did silence and isolation reveal about your voice, both literally and also spiritually?
I think, well, you said it. I think silence and isolation revealed the voice.
Oof.
I think being in total nothing
Hmm.
revealed. everything, revealed
It
almost
does
my
sometimes.
life. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I think like that was such, I mean, it was changed the course of my entire life,
Mhm.
discovering my voice. So I feel like the even now coming back to silence is where I feel most at home in myself.
Yeah.
And it's so hard with like, our phones and
Mhm.
so much noise
Mhm.
outside. And to be honest, I think it was almost more natural for me then to just fall into it and drop in and just be like,
Totally.
uh.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what's changed or if I've changed, but I have to actually be like, I've told my best friend, I'm like, I'm throwing my phone in the ocean. I just want to just,
You're
you
like,
know,
I'm done with this. No, well, it
yeah.
gets like that, right? Like I live in LA and I live in Hollywood of all places. And there
Mhm.
are those moments that you do just want to like be away and turn off and just take out the noise. And I think you did that very well. And especially speaking about Aretha Franklin, you joined a gospel choir, ma'am. I
Yeah.
mean, let's talk about that. I mean, how did that experience influence the way you connect with emotion and faith, as well as just even elevating your performance?
I'll tell you, I was so, so, so spiritual. And I listened to that album,
Mm-hmm.
Her Amazing Grace gospel album, just on repeat. I was so lost. And, I was so lost and yet had this devotion to God, to just a bigger, you know, who we are. And I, when I discovered my voice, I was like, oh, the only thing I would ever want to do is that. I would
Right.
really
Yeah.
just want to be
Mm-hmm.
in a gospel choir and sing my devotion, sing my expression. Um, and I think that's informed me who I am now because it's not really about me,
Mm-mm.
you know?
I feel like it's never about us. It's
Exactly.
always about the bigger cause. Always.
Yes. And but
Yeah.
I could lose that just like everybody
Hmm.
else. You're like, oh, how do I look? How do I sound? How am I doing? But it's like, no, it's actually shut up. It's not actually about you. It's about the bigger thing, or it's about the listener, and it's about taking people on a journey. And you see when the film came out of the movie and you see her close her eye, you see kind of this channeling coming in,
Yeah.
power. And I think that was a huge inspiration for me and what I take even to stage on this day. You just close your eyes. That moment before you open your mouth, a note comes out, and just that, again, that
That
silence.
silence.
Exactly.
That
That moment of
silence.
silence, and then everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think when we talk about your sound and your vulnerability, I really honestly call you a storyteller, right? Because when you think about some of your earlier works, like Smoking Gun and Hurt Me, I think they carry so much raw emotional honesty. Honestly, when you think of just like that work, when you're writing about heartbreak or vulnerability, how do you decide what to protect and what to reveal?
It's a good question. I don't think I decide any of it. I think it just whatever comes
Um,
through comes. I don't know that I've ever been in a moment where I'm like, I want to keep this for myself. I think that the song is for myself and it's a way of processing the emotion and the experience. So
yeah,
I don't think I'd want to hold back or protect anything. If anything, it's more about how could I open up more and be more authentically myself, or more, what's the truth about this experience? And
yeah.
am I connecting there?
It's interesting, and I ask that question because I speak to a lot of artists, whether it's celebrity or musician or writer or filmmaker, whatever, and we think of the things that are somewhat personal for us, right? Like, and I think that sometimes from the conversations that I've had, that's our piece. Those are the things I keep kind of close to the gut. But then I think what I love about you is, to your point, there are things that are just not for me, and they're the things that I feel like when you hide those things or you don't reveal those things, and people don't get to see the true, real emotion about who you are. And you've done that well, right? I think about your work being cinematic, and that's really what it is, right? Your music is cinematic. it feels like a scene for me unfolding every time I see something with you, with your work, your music, all of the things. Something is unfolding. When you're creating, do you see visuals first, or does the sound kind of guide your imagery to the project?
It's so interesting. I think mostly, oh, that's such a great question. I think for certain songs, like for Gravity, was very visual
Okay.
because it was about the experience I had, and I saw myself with this person. Like one, it started as a poem, and it was like one of the scenes was me in this car with somebody, and we were like, he was blasting this song, this Velvet Underground song, and everything. Like we were in Brooklyn, and like the stars were out, and that's the stars were out in Brooklyn, and like
Yeah.
and so with that was so visual for me to be able to like put that in writing. So I think it is visual, but I never really thought of it that way. I thought of it as the music, but
The
actually I
music,
think
yeah.
you're right. I think it is more visual than I thought.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we do think about how we are creating projects. And I'm like, okay, I want to do the writing first. But wait, there's a visual aspect that goes along with that before I even get to the writing piece. I want to talk about Hurt Me because I absolutely love Hurt Me. Hurt Me for me sits in that space of admitting something is an ending, right? And I think with that, was the writing with that song more about closure, confrontation, or confession?
I think it was I think it was closure. I think it was really facing like, God, this is so over.
Yeah.
It's so hard and I don't want it to be over, but it was kind of facing the truth.
Mm.
And that's actually a really hard song for me to sing now. Like I kind of, to
Wow.
be honest, avoided a little because it was so painful and
Hmm.
but it helped me kind of get through this time and just
Hmm.
how kind of painful it was, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like there are those moments in our lives that we're like, I really don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to experience that. But the beauty around that, though, is to your point, it makes us go back and think, like, wow, I did experience that. And that was a lot. But now I know how to get over that a little bit. You know, life is
A
still always life,
little bit.
right? Life
Yeah.
is always still life for all of us. When you think about your breakthrough and your reinvention, I love the word reinvention, reimagination, all of the things. Your reimagination and of personal Jesus, number four, ma'am. I mean, can we talk about it? It's probably even peaked even better. Number four on the Billboard Dance Club charts. What did that moment mean for you as an artist stepping into kind of a broader spotlight? Because it's different when it hits, when those numbers start hitting, it's like, okay, now the people are starting to really see me. Y'all see me. I see you, Michelle Kash. I see you, girl.
Right.
Right? How did that moment feel?
It felt amazing. It felt actually was very cool moment. Very cool moment, very natural, very exciting. Like I was playing that song in my live set. I
Mhm.
loved singing it. I love connecting to it. I love the like arrangement that I had and it was so I don't know, it always moved me and just excited me in a certain way. So
Yeah.
I think that like getting starting to chart that like I felt it was like a reflection of how I felt internally about the song,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. I want to talk about one of my favorites. I want to talk about Gravity. And with Gravity, the song feels like a late night drive. It feels seductive, a little dangerous, a little bit of all of the things, right? What was the emotional starting point for that track?
So as I mentioned, like I started it as a poem. I was
Hmm.
in New York and I had these couple of relationships that were just, I mean, honestly, all my relationships at the time were just so toxic and awful and painful. And I kept fighting with myself and I'm like, what do I want? You know, you're just in that,
You're just in that little, yeah.
it's so whatever. And then I was in New York in this apartment building and I ran into Lou Reed, you
Oh,
know,
wow. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
so and all the people that I was involved with for those few years and whatever, they all like loved Lou Reed and loved Lou Reed. And then there I was faced, it wasn't Lou Reed, it was faced with all like my own
Your own.
my own conflict. And I went home and I completely kind of crashed out. And I wrote this poem about all these experiences and everything just like collapsing within me. And and then I moved to LA like shortly right after that. And it was the first song that I worked on.
Oh,
But I
wow.
didn't release that till now. So I kind of sat with it, talk about like, oh, what did I hold and
I
protect?
mean, hello. I'm like, girl, talk about holding on to something. I mean,
Yeah.
the production leans into like, the synth waves and the atmosphere. What inspired the sonic direction?
I think it was so vibey. Like there was this element of like you said, the night drive. Like, and I was sometimes like when I was working on the song, I was actually driving at night listening just to hear it. And I'm like, God, this is a vibe. Talk about
Yep.
cinematic. So I think that I just again like it also it evolved the sound.
Yeah.
It's so interesting organically. It went from like a poem to piano to
It's,
electric piano
yeah.
to synth, and it just kind
It
of
evolved. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Talk about the remix because there's a remix that's coming. Is the remix out already or no?
Remix is out.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's almost like you're also on a night drive, but you're going somewhere else.
I was gonna say, but it's just like you're going to somewhere else. Just
Yeah.
FYI. I love
Totally.
about that piece, right? When I think of community and purpose and legacy, I want to talk about that, before we wrap, but I want to get into some Q&A because when the people heard that you were going to be on the show, it was like it just went crazy. So I'm excited. So the first person, let's say Tiffany. Tiffany is out of Long Beach and she says covers can be tricky. You are honoring something iconic while making it your own. What was your approach to transforming that song? What song is she in reference to? Oh, Personal Jesus. That song into your own world.
Can you repeat the last part?
That's okay. So, what was your approach to transforming different songs into your own world? So, like, if you are doing different covers, right? How do we? Because I love when artists actually do covers from other people, but then they actually kind of do their own like little spin on the
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah.
What's your approach to transforming the song into your own or
Um,
song?
I think what happened with Personal Jesus, like it really just got in my head one day and it wouldn't get out. And I sat with it. I was literally cooking in my kitchen. It wasn't, nothing was conscious about when I do a cover, when I connect with a song, it really is because I want to sing it and I want to kind of feel how I want to feel it.
You
Sing
want to
it, I
feel
want
it?
to feel
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
So I was literally cooking in my kitchen and my guitar player had sent an arrangement and I just started kind of singing, playing around. And what you hear kind of on the track is what I sang in the kitchen that night. So it,
Mm.
it wasn't really like a conscious thing of, oh, I need to make this my own. It was just what wants to come out. And
Yeah. What's the vibe? Yeah.
yeah, what's the vibe? How vocally, how does something
Mhm.
change? You know, yeah.
All the things, right? Brandon out of Brooklyn says, Your voice is described as sultry, yet poppy. I like that. But there are also some haunting qualities to your voice. Well, how intentional is that balance when you're in the studio?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I have this like vibrato that could get really strong sometimes. And
Okay.
so in the studio, it's been interesting what I've heard from producers is like, what's the balance of keeping all these uniqueness in my voice without kind of it being like it's still being me and not being like,
Yeah.
so it
Hmm.
is, I think some of it is intentional, or I work on like where do I want to kind of what's an important moment in the song that I want to really
Embody.
elongate, or
Hmm.
what's really important to me in these sonic kind of moments.
Right.
And then some of it is just kind of releasing all of that in the end, releasing any intention and just see what you get.
I love it. Last question comes from Nikki, and Nikki is out of LA. I love this question because it goes into my community and purpose. You are deeply committed to animal welfare empowerment with women and girls. How do those causes shape your identity as an artist?
Yeah, I think that it's giving a voice really to people or beings that don't have a voice and they can't really fight for themselves.
Mhm.
And I think that, years ago, this is a crazy story. Before I discovered my voice, I didn't know what I was doing. And I had asked like an intuitive person, like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And they're like, I don't
Right.
know either, but I think it's going to be with your voice. And I thought that meant voice for animals, voice for people in
Ooh,
need. And my whole life changed with my voice, musically.
yeah.
But that's still so important to me because I think it's the core of who I am is to help people, help beings or
Mhm.
self-expression and connection, really. So I think that's who I am as a person and as an artist. I think it
I
connects.
Well, and I think so, right? I think there's a lot of connection whenever you think about just the full trajectory of who you are, what you have built. I think, as you were talking earlier about your relationships and lack thereof, all of the mess we go through, right? It's
Yeah.
like those are the stories that help you become a better artist, right? It helps us create and write and do all of the things. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate your heart. In this season right now, how are you and how's your heart?
Ooh, you just went there. You just went right
You're
in.
like, okay, so we're gonna go. Oh, so we're gonna do that. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna go right there. Okay,
exactly.
we're gonna go right there, Jameer. Sure. Okay.
I think that my heart is healing right now. I think my heart is healing.
Mm,
I think I learned in the last couple of years that healing is not linear.
yeah.
And I'm, you know, I think I'm reconnecting with myself in a different way, in a way that I never had before. And I think that that's beautiful but hard. There's definitely some dark, long nights, dark night of the soul type things going on.
Right.
But I see kind of a sunrise on the horizon, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
that light at the end of the tunnel. So, yeah.
It's the journey that I've always had to tell myself, right? It's the experience, it's the what we're learning, it's all of the things. But I'm proud of you. We're proud of
Oh,
you, right? As we get ready to wrap our show, I love these questions because if you thought that was deep, girl, we call this the therapy session. And within the therapy session, it's like, oh, girl, I feel like we all need a little therapy these days. But I love these questions because these are the questions that a lot of people have probably wanted to ask you, or family and friends may not even know your answer, right? And it's kind of the first thing that comes to your mind. What does a perfect day look like for you?
that's so lovely. Um, I think the perfect day would be I live on the beach, so
Mhm.
be waking up and meditating and being really internal and connecting or praying
Yeah,
and writing. I think writing music, connecting to myself, and oh my God. So I've been doing gardening. I've been gardening all weekend.
my best friend loves to garden.
Really? Oh
He
my
loves to take photos of flowers and say, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is. What are you talking about?" And goes to the Home Depot and like, "I'm
Seriously.
gardening." I'm like, "Enjoy."
No, it's
I
true.
love
It's so like until you garden, you have no idea. Me too. Like I was like gardening, what? But so connecting. I think my perfect day would be connecting to like mind, body, spirit in some way, like the
absolutely.
earth, my
Hmm.
heart,
Hmm.
world, like whatever that means and
Whatever
whatever
that
I,
means. Yeah.
yeah.
Who's been the most influential person in your life?
Oh, um, you know, oh my God, I have like eight people kind of coming in at once.
Okay.
I think I had a teacher. I had
Mm.
a history and drama teacher who's since passed away, who was so, it really influenced me. I think I was having such a hard time. I didn't know anything. I didn't believe in myself. And they were like a safe space.
Mm.
And they really believed in me. And I think that really kind of set something up for me internally to like rely on myself and
Yeah.
to kind of trust myself and kind of be strong and like the resilience
Mm-hmm.
side.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was really influential.
What is your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Oh my God, like first like take all my clothes off.
Oh my God, literally. I will walk in the house. This is
Just,
on the get it
just
off me.
get off me. It's so funny. I like see in movies they have a woman walk in with heels and she's walking around her house. I'm like, actually,
That's
that
not
is not true. That's the
that's
first
not
thing
real
that's coming
life.
off.
Right. It's not real life.
Exactly. Exactly. I think again, so like taking everything off, cuddling with my dog, just kind of unwinding, being quiet. And that's the way I unwind. I think he's really being really quiet.
Yeah, right. What's your love language?
My love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. So if like you're touching me and you say words of affirmation at the same time, it's like a double. Does
It's
that?
like a double whammy at that point.
Yes,
Yeah.
double
It's a
whammy.
double whammy at that point. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
What is something that makes you feel really appreciated?
Oh.
It
Uh,
was the face. I love it.
oh, really?
It was the face. She's like, oh my God, Jesus, we're doing this. I guess we're doing this.
I know. I think it actually goes back to words of affirmation. I think if somebody expresses their feelings for me or what I mean to them or something like that, I really just feel connected to them and
Yeah.
it really opens me. So I think that makes me feel really appreciated.
As we close, when you think of your journey so far, if it had a soundtrack, one song that defines where you are right now, what would that be and why?
Wow. I think my soundtrack right now would be a gospel song. And I was listening to it for like 3 days. It's called Encourage Yourself.
Mm,
And I think it's the Tri-City Singers, the one that I listened
love
to.
them. Yeah.
And it's like sometimes there's no evidence around you. There's nothing outside. You have to speak to yourself. You have to
Mm,
encourage yourself and basically everything will work out. So
that's it.
that's what the soundtrack has been right now. Yeah.
One of your interviews, you once said, when I listen to music, I don't feel alone anymore. Was there a time in your life when music was the only thing that made you feel seen?
100%. 100%. I think that time when I was a teenager, I only had music. I had music and I had my dog, and that was it. And it was the only, I felt like that was the only connection I had to the outside world was that people were singing and writing my experience, my emotions. Um, so I think, yeah, and I think that being an artist, like when you're on stage and you're just really just in it and you have that connection with the audience
Yep.
is it's amazing. Like you feel seen in
Feel
a way that no
seen.
one around you has seen you, you know?
Yeah, you feel seen. I always ask this question at the end.
Mm.
When it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Kindness. I think kindness of heart, a generous heart, an open heart. However that translates, if it's music, animals, helping people, I think that's the core of who I am.
We see your heart, I see your heart, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for waking up every day and saying, you know what? Today is going to be better than yesterday. And we see it and hear it in your music and all of the things you do on social. And just thank you for you. Thank you for just showing up for yourself. So I appreciate you. Any last words you want to leave for any of your fans, listeners, all of the things? Any last words?
First of all, I just want to thank you because your heart is so touching my heart. And I'm just like, I'm tearing up. I'm like really tearing up. I think I just want to say thank you to whoever's out there. And everything, just like you said, everything gets better. It's day by day.
That's it.
And we're in it together. We're in it together.
We're in it together. Listen, as we always say on Power 97.5 LA and iHeartRadio, stay positive, but stay creative. Until next time, thank you for tuning in.